Didn't that occur to you?
Yeah.
And I know if they don't answer, you're gonna keep on grabbing the glory. So fuck. I might as well just stay back.
It's because Iron Goated got held up at work. So he just said, give my spot away.
Yeah, I know, but if this keeps on going and they just rely on you, that's gonna be a bitch.
No, she asked for any staff that could go live.
Oh, any stuff.
Yes. You could have taken away. I can. Yeah, any staff.
And the thing is, remember, you're off for the day since I'm gonna be streaming tonight.
Yeah.
So that defeated the purpose.
Yeah, I know. Oh, ready?
But who am I streaming for tonight? Oh, oh, right, that's right. Right. Okay, I got that.
It hasn't been posted yet. It's up there yet. But after he passes me, then it'll get posted. But you can open up Twitch and already be in my stream. Alrighty, everyone.
Yes, well, it's in this bag. Okay, so.
Hey, Clarence, thank you for passing me a party of 7. Welcome into the Geek Show. So, how's everyone doing? Today we talk about stuff nerdy. I'm doing all right. This is my second stream of the day, but I'm doing all right. But how you been, Clarence? Hey, Jalen. Hey, Jalen. And stuff, but yeah, on today's episode of the Geek Show, we're going to be continuing on Windows, the history and mythology of Windows. So, in September 14th of 2000, Microsoft released Windows ME. In September 14th of 2000, Microsoft released Windows ME. The Millennium Edition, the last DOS-based version of Windows. Windows ME incorporated visual interface enhancements from its Windows NT-based counterpart. Windows 2000 had a faster. Yes, love James. Thank you for the follow. A Windows ME incorporated visual interface from Windows NT-based corporate. Windows has a faster boost time than previous versions, which, however, required the removal of the ability to access a real mod DOS environment, removing capability with some older programs, expanded multimedia functionality, including Windows Media Player 7, Windows Movie Maker, and the Windows Image Acquisition framework for retrieving images from scanners and digital cameras. Additional system utilities such as system file protection and system restore updated home networking tools. However, Windows ME was faced with criticism for its speed and instability, along with hardware capability issues and its removal of real mode DOS support. PC World considered Windows ME to be one of the worst operating systems Microsoft has ever released, and the fourth worst tech product of all time. In November of 1988, a new development team with Microsoft began working on revamping revamped version of IBM and Microsoft's operating system, two operating systems known as NT OS 2 and NT operating system 2 was intended to be a secure multi-user operation system with POSIX compatibility and modular. Probably kernel with primitive multitasking and support from multiple processor architectures. However, following the successful release of Windows 3.0, the NT development team decided to rework the project to use an extended 32-bit port of the Windows API known as Windows 32 instead of those of operating system 2. Windows 32 maintained a similar structure to the Windows APIs, allowing existing Windows applications to easily be ported to the platform, but also supported the capabilities of the existing NT kernel following its improvement by Microsoft staff. Development continued on what was now Windows NT, the first 32-bit version of Windows. However, IBM objected to changes and ultimately continued operating system 2 development on its own. That's fine, Clarence. Have time with the honey bun. And HDHRFH, whatever it is, thank you for the follow. That's a lot of letters. HDHRFHFHJFKE, thank you for the follow. I'll probably forget that. So don't mind me.
It's like a tongue twister there.
I'll just call you HD.
That sounds better.
Windows NT was the first Windows operating system based on was released in 93 with versions for desktop workstations and servers. Windows NT 3.5 was released in September of 94, focusing on performance improvements and support for novels, NetWare, and was followed up by Windows NT 3.51 in 95 of May, which included additional improvements and support for the PowerPC architecture. Windows NT 4.0 was released in June of 96, introducing the redesigned interface of Windows 95 to the NT series. On February 17th of 2000, Microsoft released Windows 2000, a successor to the NT 4.0. The Windows NT name was dropped at this point in order to put a greater focus on the Windows brand. Now here we get into Windows XP, my baby.
Oh, yeah, the best of the best.
The best operating system the Windows ever designed.
Best on video gaming.
Best in gaming, best in a lot of things. And I wish they kept the aspect of XP in their later on launches and stuff. I wish they kept a lot of XP in there. I wish they never kept growing and just stick with XP.
Yeah, they kind of.
And stuff. I know that a lot of you guys like 10.
Windows 10 is
decent.
8 with 7 and 10 were decent.
7 and 10 was decent. 8 suck balls.
Don't go with Vista. Vista was a total.
To me, look, Vista broke itself within months after coming out.
Yeah, Vista was a total.
To me, if you look at it, Vista was just something they shot out of their butt.
Yeah, well, they have to do something.
I know. They had to make money.
And a lot of people complain about that.
The next major version of Windows NT was Windows XP was released on October 25th of 2001. The introduction of Windows XP aimed to unify the customer-oriented Windows 9X series with the architecture introduced by Windows NT, a change which Microsoft promised would provide better performance over its DOS-based predecessors. Windows XP would also introduce a redesigned user interface, start menu, and a task-oriented Windows Explorer. Streamlined multimedia and networking features in Internet Explorer 6, integration with Microsoft's Net Passport services, a compatible mode to help provide backwards capability with software designed for previous versions of Windows, and remote assistant functionality. At retail, Windows XP was marketed in 2 main editions, Home and Professional. Was targeted toward, Home was for the consumers, and Professional was for business environments and power users, and including an additional security and network features. Home and Professional were later accompanied by the Media Center Edition, designed for home theater PCs, with an emphasis on support for DVD playback, TV tuner cards, DVR functionality, and remote controls. The tablet PC edition, designed for mobile devices, meaning that specifications for tablet computers with support for stylus pen input and addition pen enabled applications. Mainstream support for XP ended in April 14th, 2009. Extended support ended on April 8th of 2014. After Windows 2000, Microsoft also changed its release schedules for several operating systems. The server counterpart of Windows XP, Server 2003, was released in 2003 in April, and it was followed in December 2005 and by Windows Server 2003 R2. All right, here comes a piece of shit. Sorry my language, but after a lengthy development process, Windows Vista was released in November 30th, 2006 for volume licensing and January 30th, 2007 for consumers. It contained a number of new features, from a redesigned shell and user interface to significant technical changes with particular focus on security features. It was available in a number of different editions, has been subject to some criticism, and I am one of those criticism people.
Poor excuse for a program.
Such as a drop of performance, true. Longer boot time, true.
Yep.
The UAI sucked, and the licensing sucked.
Yes.
Vista's server was also a piece of crap. The server itself within the coding was crap. The Windows Server that they had in it,
Definitely.
even though they released that in 2008, that still made it worse. And then here comes the shining light, Windows 7.
Oh, yes, our savior. Well, wait. Just get Windows 6.
It didn't say Windows 6 here.
Oh, that's right, Windows 7.
Yeah. 6 was actually Vista.
Yeah, our saving grace, Windows 7.
On July 22 of 2009, Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008 R2 was released as RTM, released to manufacturing. While the forming was released to the public 3 months later on October 2nd, 2009, unlike its predecessor, Windows Vista, which introduced a large number of new features, Windows 7 was intended to be more focused as an upgrade to the Windows line, with the goal of being compatible with applications hardware with which Windows Vista was already compatible. Windows 7 has multi-touch support, redesigned Windows Shell with a updated taskbar, which that was an improvement, and with a reliable jump list that contains shortcuts to files frequently used with specific applications and shortcuts to tasks within the application. A home networking system called Home Group, and performance improvements. And then here comes 8 and 8.1, which was semi-decent, but not a fall buyer. Windows 7, the successor of Windows 8, successor of 7, was released generally on October 26, 2012. I remember that. A number of significant changes was made on 8, including the introduction of user interface based around the Metro design language. And these changes included the start screen, the touch interactions, and display stuff. The new Windows version required a minimum resolution of 1024 by 768 pixels, effectively making it unfit for netbooks with 800 by 60 pixel screens. That was the downside. But because of Windows 8, we started going into the Xboxes. the operating system the Xboxes started running off was 8.
Wow. I mean,
The first Xbox ran off the operating system 8.
okay.
Other changes included increased integration with cloud services and other online platforms, such as social networks, Microsoft's own OneDrive, Xbox Live services. So the Xbox, the live functionality was because of Windows 8. The Windows Store services for software distribution and a new variant known as Windows RT for use on devices that utilize the RM architecture, and a new keyboard shortcut for screenshots started coming out because of Windows 8. So Windows 8 opened doors, but it's just I didn't really care for its functionality, but it opened doors for other consoles and stuff to go live, to do live services on the console because of Microsoft providing out Windows 8. So now, now if you look at the Xbox now compared to when it first came out around Windows 8, you can see that there's a lot of similarities with the operating system on the Xbox because of Windows 8.
So you mean the original
Xbox ran Windows 8.
Windows 8.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For the online portion of the console was ran off of Windows 8. For like if you want to do like a online multiplayer games, that operating system was Windows 8.
Great.
8 to 8.1. So and stuff. So yeah, it was because of that and stuff. Because of Windows 8, they were able to open that door to their console. And then the real shining light, the real knight of the armor, and so like that, I meant compared to what we have now, considered with Windows, but I meant the step before the shit 11 came out is Windows 10.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
10 was amazing. I love 10. I like the interface of 10. Family friendly, easier to use.
User friendly.
User friendly, actually, correct myself. User friendly.
It had what we needed to have.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
to me, in my opinion, 11 is a little more of a copycat of Apple, in my sense.
I need to get used to 11.
I know Windows 11. You have to really have the patience and the mental patience to really grasp Windows 11.
After Windows 10, I switched to Chrome. So
same here. That was same here. I went from PC back to Chrome, back to PC, back to Chrome. But every time I went back to PC, it was always Windows 10.
Yeah, Chrome was a spin-off. So I mean,
Chrome has always been a spin-off from Windows.
Right now, I'm trying to get used to it since my main base of operations is Windows 11, and then I got a small computer.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's how.
Well, this proves how our media is evolving, and
yeah, and it's just, to me, from what I've been hearing, Windows is still in the process of going above 11.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah. They're thinking of bringing on another operating system.
Oh my God.
Don't know yet. It's still just in the talk still. But how's everyone's day been? I think I covered enough Windows for today. Mostly the history of the actual operating systems. My next stream, I'll get more in detail about the programming aspect of it and the programs that they've came out with and all that. Hey, girl. How are you?
Girl?
I'm doing really good, girl. How are you? It's
Mhm.
doing good.
Yeah.
So I'm better, but I'm not at a 400%. So and stuff. So I'm still on that little line there.
Got worse.
But mom got worse.
Coughing. Oh, night. But I'm going to be on meds.
But yeah, any questions or anything like that? We will.
I'm the one who said at least 80%.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still fixing some stuff. I'm still fixing some stuff with my streams and stuff. So my streams won't be game playing streams quite yet until I get a better setup. Then I'll be good on that part. Because there's some games I want to start doing some walkthroughs for, but I just don't have the right setup quite yet for that. So most of my game playing will be off stream until I have a better processor and graphics card. So what I might do is then probably by next year build me and my friend here Leon a gaming rig. But the floor is open for Q&As. If anyone's available to, if anyone has anything to ask.
Hi, Pearl. She heard me. Hi, baby. I'm just coughing still.
But yeah, but yeah, trying to think here. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm. Know what? Oh, I've heard that stuff from a bird that went like that. I heard some news. So some news on the Disney front. That the CEO is in the talks about selling their company Hulu, and if they sell it, they'll probably sell it to Comcast. So it looks like Disney's getting out of the Hulu business, giving up Hulu.
Hello? Hey. Estoy ocupado.
But other than that, and stuff. There's a lot of changes coming to Disney since Bob Iger is now the CEO again. A lot of positive changes are happening. Because he's one that decided, so he's more into the more in the mindset of making sure everything's more decent, more, huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh. Everything okay?
Hey, Brother Cole, I'm working right now.
Oh.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I have a bunch of games for off streaming, playing that I have on my bucket list. One of them is the full version of American Truck Simulator, which by next year I'll be able to do a walkthrough on it, and stuff. And then I'll probably also add to my streaming schedule for next year. I'll probably bounce from American Truck Simulator to some Fortnite, and then probably try out that Hogwarts Legacy next year. But I'm gonna get it and play around with it and all that stuff. But what I might do is later on, so by next year, do an actual playthrough with you guys live and all that stuff. When I have the right setup for it. But if any of you guys are interested in playing along with me on Fortnite or Rogue Company or whatever, just let me know, and I'll give you my gamer tag and my and stuff, and we'll place. Oh.
Jeez, I'm gonna kill.
No, but I play Xbox games, the PC connected Xbox games on. Well, all right. I did, but I don't anymore. But I do have the Xbox games, and stuff that I have I have some Xbox games that are connected on my PC to my Xbox account. Like Fortnite and a few other Epic ones and stuff like that that are connected to my Xbox account. But other than that stuff, yeah, I wish I still had my Xbox, but and stuff. But later on down the road, I'll eventually get me a new one.
Yes, you will. I think.
But other than that,
You know
I'm still working on some new graphics for my channel and stuff like that. So watch out for that. Once I get settled properly and everything like that with my streaming a lot more, I will be posting a new streaming schedule on my channel. So watch out for that too. But yeah, other than that, what I might do is I might test out a little because I do have an emulator on my PC. So one of these days I might do a test of that on my PC, and I might stream some emulators temporarily until I have the right setup for full PC games. So, but what I am doing is like that with my PC games and stuff like that. Instead of them running off my C drive, I have a external hard drive that I have all my PC games installed on, so that they're not taking on the load of the C drive. Oh, within the next couple streams, me and Leon are going to be bringing back a podcast we were doing for a little bit, and then we took a little hiatus. There was some issues. I don't want to get into it. So it's going to be coming back to both our channels, the Geek Bros. So watch out for that. I will be posting that in my scheduling on my channel. The days I'll be broadcasting my portion of the Geek Bros, and I'll keep you guys posted when he broadcasts his portion of it and everything. So we'll keep you posted on that. And I will set up something so that you guys could do a poll or something on what topics should be the next podcast for our comeback reunion of the podcast. So I will make a poll during one of my next streams for the topic for my portion. And then I'll have Leon, I'll set one up for him for one of his next lives to figure out the topic for the next one that he'll host. We'll both be on it, but he'll host one, I'll host one, and we'll go back and forth. So the first one I'll host, and then he'll host, and then we'll go back and forth on that. So it'll be every other week. We host one week, I host one, vice versa. So just keep an eye out on that. There's a lot of newer stuff coming to both of our channels. Eventually by next year, once we get a little more equipment in, he's going to start doing some cooking shows, a bunch of other stuff coming in the works.
Don't forget that emulator streaming.
Yeah, he's also going to be introducing emulating walkthroughs on his channel, along with me. We'll be going back and forth. So if he'll do emulator, and then I'll do an emulator, and we'll go back and forth. And then we'll discuss those games in our podcast too. So keep an eye on that too. There's a lot of new stuff coming, new branding and stuff coming to our channels. So just keep an eye on that. And anything you guys want to talk about? Floor is still open. But while I'm waiting and stuff, I'd see if anyone wants to chit chat or anything with me. But yeah, and stuff. I'm thinking of also streaming more than I usually do. That'll be coming in the near future too, streaming more than one time slot or one time in the day, doing like 2 streams a day, maybe 3. It just depends. Same with Leon. So that'll be coming in the works too. But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming to my channel that's been blowing up in my head and everything, ideas and stuff. Because I want to get back to how I used to stream, where it was periodically. And I want to get back to that. I've been, slacking off a lot on my streaming, and I need to get back to it. Back to how I started, where I was just streaming a lot almost every day. Except for I might take one day off and then but I'll be still streaming within the week. It'll just be randomly one day off every week. It could be a weekend during the week, whatever. So like that, but it'll just be one day a week that I take off from streaming, and then I have the rest so that I could recuperate for the next day. So there's a lot of newer stuff coming, and also I want to thank the TWG, Together We Grow, for providing this stream and giving me the chance to be with you guys. And I really want to thank everyone. The community is really good. If you're not part of it, get yourself there. I am going to add a bot. I'm going to add to my bot, so like that, the command for the server for my stream tomorrow, because I have a stuff like I'll be streaming tomorrow for 2 hours. So by then, I'll have the link in the chat. But other than that, there's a lot of stuff. I'm still doing some more research on talking topics and stuff, so look forward for that too. If you guys have anything, even if you don't mention it or ask me here in my streams, so you can hit me up on a whisper or a DM, and let's become friends and a family here. So, and stuff like I was saying earlier, so I am wanting to get back into that whole give you something more than what I'm doing now with the streaming and stuff. So I want to keep growing on that. But it's just I'm still recovering from having a flu for almost a week. Inching its way to 2 weeks if it keeps going so like that, but I'm still battling it. Not as severe as I had it when it first hit me, but it's still there, still lingering.
New stuff is in the works.
Huh?
New stuff is in the works.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff in the works. A lot of new stuff coming to our channels, and stuff. So let's. And stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone and stuff is going to have a wonderful weekend and everything like that. And trying to think here. Oh, I am also on that bucket list of PC games. I am going to also give a taste try to that Disney Dreamland Valley next month, probably either next month or the following month. I'm gonna get my hands on that and get a try on that game. There's a ton of games I have on my wish list that I've been wanting to play around with for future research on which ones to eventually stream when I have the right equipment. So there's a lot of testing that I'm doing off stream to figure out which would be playable and not playable and worth streaming. So continue keeping an eye on my channel for new updates. I will be posting stuff. I will also have my bot starting tomorrow, so like that. Shout out my socials, and I will start posting stuff on my socials of my scheduling and stuff. So what's coming next and all that. So I'll keep everyone posted in my socials. that's also coming up to my channel is the list of my socials and stuff and how to find me on those. Yeah. All right, I'm back. I just had a quick little phone call. You're watching a just chatting stream. Bo Jingles.
It'll get better and better, trust me.
Yeah, by tomorrow's stream, and so by the time when I stream tomorrow, it'll be a little bit better. But yeah, other than that, after I'm done. Already. And the person answered their pain, so I don't have to do it double. Alrighty. But oh man, I'm curious about something now. Alrighty. Whatever. If you have a question regarding me, as long as it's not personal, throw it at me. Mostly in my stuff, I talk about anything nerdy, geeky.
So what do you want to chat about? Good question. I guess
It's your
a little
chat. My
bit
first
of
time
you.
here. Okay, so it's your first time to the Geek Show. What? Okay, if you had to choose from a show or an anime or whatever it's like that from the 80s, what would it be and why?
Get this started. Quick recovery.
So, with me, I had 3 on my list. One, it's an anime. It's a legend of anime. Dragon Ball.
Yeah, who couldn't?
Why would Dragon Ball be number 1? Okay, here's 2 reasons. 1, I like the storyline. 2, the animation rocked the boat. In my opinion, I mean, it was really good animation. But I'm not talking about the American adaptation to it. I'm referring to more going back to its roots when Dragon Ball came out. So I have from the original Japanese showing of it.
So he was born in the 80s, but he didn't start paying attention on the initials until the 90s.
Okay, so I'll reword it. So in the 90s, what were your top 3 and why? Number 2 on my list, it's a series, but it's not a cartoon. Hey, dude.
Oh yeah, of course.
Foxblood, KDT, thank you for the raid of 1. For sending me 1 viewer, I appreciate that. Welcome in, welcome in.
Okay, go on with the explanation.
Okay, all right. Now okay, I liked stuff, the whole storyline and the whole acting and everything like that with Hey Dude. There's another one that's from the same, is within the same TD station and stuff like that. It's still live action in a sense like that with actors and stuff like that. But it's Pete and Pete.
Oh man, who could not forget those two guys
Mm-hmm.
and their hero Artie?
Yep.
Man,
I miss those days.
those were the good old days.
Yeah, that was when Nickelodeon was the best.
Yeah, but if you wanna say who went down atrociously, that was Fox.
Yeah. Fox Kids just...
It was good.
It was good, but just...
We got the guilt.
I mean, if you want,
Oh, okay, change my name. It's X Fox. Oh, okay. Hi, Fox Blood. I'm doing good. How about you? Long time no see, Fox Blood. But yeah, like I was saying stuff, those were my top three. But okay, now since someone brought up the 90s, that's fine. And I appreciate you showing up. That's all that matters to me. You being here. Always. To me, your view counts more to me than whatever Twitch gives me in return. So me just going live and then I get a few people in, that's all that matters to me. Because I enjoy giving you content. And that's all that makes my heart happy, is giving you guys content. I'm not looking for the paycheck. I'm not looking for any of that stuff. I'm just wanting to give you content. But okay, now let's get into the 90s. Yeah, that is true. Having fun and good content is all that matters in streaming. To me, a lot of streamers, and so this drives me nuts, a lot of streamers focus on the paycheck and lose a lot into the content, lose the sense of having fun doing it. Because they're all worrying about, oh, I need to stream this because I get paid more doing this, streaming it this way, or streaming it this way. And you need to pull off on the reins a little bit and back off a little. And you say, if you start getting into that mindset, you might need to take a little hiatus from streaming for a little bit and really clear your mind for a second and really think on why you streamed in the first place.
Yeah,
go back to your roots. That's what I've been noticing is I was starting to go, oh, this is a job now. I have to focus on it 24 hours a day. No. I'm starting to realize, no, I need to go back to the fun that I had when I first started streaming. So that's what I'm going to start doing.
Now the difference between you and me, this is really my job.
Yeah. It's like my roommate here. This is his job because this is the only kind of thing that he could do as a job. But with me, I'm in a boat where I don't have to really survive off of Twitch, but I do it as a way of giving you guys something that I enjoyed watching myself. I've been a big avid Twitch watcher for a long time, and it took me a while to realize, you know what, this is my passion. And I need to get back to that passion. And that's what I'm going to start doing with this channel is bring back my roots. Because even my wife right there could vouch for stuff that I had passion when I first started streaming. And then it went away.
I'm just new to this whole thing. That it's funny.
Yeah, he did.
I had a lot of passion. I did it every day almost. It's like
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yep.
And so it's just some why I just got so tangled into making it a career that the passion went out the window.
Yep.
And that's
now
why
the passion's back.
the passion's back. But yeah, back to the 90s. Sorry for going off topic here for a second, but back to the 90s. I did like some other shows from the 80s that went into the 90s and stuff and grew more. Especially a little bit of tiny bit of Nickelodeon in the 90s was okay, but not decent.
Yes, some of it.
Some of it, like the 90s Doug was okay.
Yeah.
Before it went to Disney.
Before Disney got the rights to Doug, it was really good and was decent in the 90s until then. There was a bunch. There was like, I do remember, I think it was the 80s and the 90s, Clarissa Explains It All.
90s.
That was 90s. I remember Clarissa Explains It All. I watched that like crazy.
Man, that was a good show.
If it wasn't for me watching that, I wouldn't have gotten into her other show when she was a lot older.
Sabrina.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, man.
And everything. So it was like I watched her grow. That actress grow up.
Deja vu, anyone?
Yeah. But there was that. There was, you see a lot of shows. There was like the Rugrats.
One that I couldn't. There were some decent episodes and some were just.
The first couple seasons were good, and then it started going. In my opinion,
technically, the best one to me was Little Dude.
Oh yeah.
That one I
That
never
was
seen.
a funny one.
Real Monsters.
Real Monsters, yeah.
Kind of the 6 side, but funny.
You had that. Then, if you want to go out of Nickelodeon and go toward Ren and Stimpy, forgot about that. There was Ren and Stimpy. I really loved it when Nickelodeon went to. I know. I loved it when Nickelodeon went to Nick at Night and started showing the adult cartoons at night.
Oh yeah. Who could not forget that?
Mm-hmm. When they knew, okay, at a certain time of night, kids are in bed, so now we can show the adult stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah, that show was good. Actually, anybody could see that one.
Yeah.
Before they got the rating system.
Yeah, before the rating system hit hard with Nickelodeon, and they had to cut some stuff because of ratings and stuff. But that. It's good.
I have a long video I could put on.
It's not scary. It's decent. It's not a horror.
It's something like Tales from the Crypt, but the kid version of Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah. It's like camp stories.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Oh.
And stuff. But also, if you want to go into another channel that I grew up in the 90s watching, was Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
Like The Kids Next Door.
Ooh, nice one.
I'm trying to remember. Scooby-Doo. Powerpuff Girls. And I'm not talking about, you say like the Scooby-Doos that are out now. No, I'm talking about the original Scooby-Doo. The Scooby-Doo. The Scrabby series was okay, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Scrappy was good.
It was good. It was
just a continuation of the original.
The original. It was like continuing on with another sibling, another family member of Scooby, in a sense. And stuff. So yeah, and so it was like adding a new character with Scooby that drives Scooby nuts.
Oh, it had to be Scrappy.
Yeah.
As if Shaggy wasn't good enough.
I know. To me, if you look at it, Shaggy. Oh, Doy.
Zoinks!
Doy!
Let's get out of here.
Man, Scrappy would. Like Shaggy would always crack me up.
Yeah, and he was a beef with it, or just like
Scooby.
Those two were the original vacuum cleaners. At the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. But other and stuff like that. You also had
I wasn't much of a fan of Camp Laszlo, but
Camp Laszlo was okay, was decent. And then you had
Total Drama. That was good. That one was
Total Drama was really good too. And I'm trying to remember. To me, I remember the original Teen Titans.
Oh man,
That was the bomb.
don't go with Teen Titans Go. That was just a disgrace.
It was just like a copycat gone wrong. So it was like a clone of it in a different universe, and it's just.
They also did that to My Little Pony, sadly not.
I know, it's just they decided to show the other alternate universe of the same timeline.
Except that they didn't fight or nothing. It was pretty much like a.
It was just like, we're just gonna look pretty. Yeah, we're just gonna look good on camera, kind of thing. It's just ridiculous. And so some of these cartoons,
you gotta admit though, after the 5 o'clock time, that's when things get better.
Okay.
Are you ready to press?
No, not yet. A few minutes longer. I just got DM'd by Jalen.
So after 5 o'clock, things got even better though.
Yeah, I know.
And not to mention the anime block at night. Who could forget the Tsunami midnight run? Oh my god.
If you're talking about stuff like that, when they started bringing in the anime stuff on
They did
Toonami,
in the afternoons, but it wasn't as much.
no. But I preferred it when it hit Toonami time, and it was just all anime.
Yeah, the midnight run.
The midnight run, and it was just all anime.
Yeah.
Naruto, you name it.
Well, before it was like Gundam,
Tencho.
I think there were Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah. Outlaw Star. Eventually down the road, years later on, they started adding like One Punch Man and a few others.
That would be fine and dandy if they can get it, because
I know
they're really extreme. I mean, you're talking like I would love to see Bucky the Grappler on Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
Bucky the Grappler, One Punch Man. We didn't have Code
Geass. No. They never had the rights to Code Geass.
And the sad thing is, this would be more into the adult level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
But there's one thing that strikes me out about Cartoon Network though. When they went to adult, fully adult, it didn't even make any sense.
No, I know. It
I
didn't.
mean, they had cartoons mixed with regular shows, and I still
Trade it off.
No, not yet. A few more minutes longer.
it is kind of confusing.
Yeah, I know it is. It is.
And one of the things I found awkward, Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started with Pee Wee Herman.
No, but I mean, he was moved to the adult block.
I know when his stuff wasn't adult oriented.
Actually, some of
it was, but not all of it. They could have, doctoring a lot of it to make it where it could fit with just the kid stuff.
Yeah, but they had to do it for a reason.
I know. but I felt sorry so that they eventually yanked that because of that one incident from that movie theater incident. Yeah, I know, and I know and stuff. He was legally not supposed to do that in the movie theater, but hey, a man sometimes says if the mood hits in the wrong places, sometimes with us men.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna feel guilty because
I've been there.
I've been there several times.
Yeah, but it's just to me to classify him as a child. I'm not going to say the word, but you probably get what I'm saying. Get into. I mean, into kids.
No, you're gonna have a sick twisted mind to do that.
I know, but
or an alternative purpose.
I know, but he just never seemed like the person that would be that way with kids. He wouldn't know.
Something must have happened.
Something must have happened, or someone just started spreading stuff just for the money.
Well,
like they did with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, another case. Michael Jackson had to go through court and this and that. And basically, the kid actually admitted that his mom told them to say that he actually took an advantage of it.
Because if you look at Michael Jackson, I've even met him in person. He does not seem like that kind of person to do anything with kids in the wrong way.
He was a true humanitarian. Even after dying, he left a whole portion of his money to his to different charities.
Yeah, kid charities. Different charities that deal with kids. He had a heart for kids. That's why he built that special park on his property and everything like that, because he adored kids.
The only thing is people rub people the wrong way because they never understood him as much as the ones who grew up with him, like me and you.
Yeah. And if you look at it, to me, he developed a love for kids because of what he went through as a kid. He didn't want kids to go through that same thing.
When you get pushed by a family member to just go on to the way he took as business-wise. I mean, it happened also with another person, with Nolan.
Yeah.
She also passed away. But when you're pushed to the limits and then you have that flare of fame, things go wrong. I'm still waiting till I get the grapevine. When you hit that point, things go wrong.
Okay, I can roll this wall. Still. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But other than that and stuff, but it's just, to me, kids need to be allowed to be kids. Yeah. And when their childhood is taken away from them, it does a lot of mental mess ups. It fucks up their minds. Excuse my French, but I'm speaking the truth here, because I've been on a roller coaster with my childhood too. So it's like, I understand and stuff like that you have to really in-depthly keep that inner child in you so when there's times where it's hard to because of your growing up, but if you still keep it in you, you'll end up being a better person.
Yep.
And stuff, because especially if you're going to eventually end up having a kid yourself, it's better to have an inner child yourself so you can enjoy your kid with that inner child.
Yeah. Hey. That is quite true.
I feel bad. You can't have kids with me. But you got kids.
Yes. And I don't want to hear that ever again. Well, I'll explain later.
You're like,
Because my kids. He doesn't like me saying that.
oh, we're on live. That's kind of.
Yeah, that's why I was like giving you a signal like,
I don't
Shut up.
think it should have even been talking.
no. I'm making this into the podcast too. So
But I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying.
I still have viewers. So
True.
Sorry.
if it was running anyone all the way, my viewer count
Sorry.
would drop.
True.
I'm sorry.
When they have kids, you said go to the. That's actually true.
Yeah, girl, I totally agree on that. That is true. That is true, girl.
But also, you gotta know how to raise them. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
go wild and then
Yeah,
you can
that is true.
control them.
Hey, look how I ended up. Half a wild child, half not.
Yeah, wild child. You are?
Being raised 2 different ways.
Yeah, that could mess up anybody.
Yeah, being bounced between 2 different households.
I know how that goes.
Well, actually, I have to. My mom raised us most of the time. I mean, for 25 years until I
Yeah.
had to meet my dad.
Yeah, but imagine being bounced from him, her, him.
It's a good thing that wasn't the case.
Yeah, because it would have really screwed you up.
Well, we're on commercial.
But yeah, it would have screwed you up mentally. Divorced kids have it bad.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't do this at that point. I didn't know.
Our
much
kids turned out good.
Yeah, but that's because of your raising. When you did have them. And they looked, and especially one of them, even to this day, looks back and appreciates that raising.
Yeah.
Our daughter. Because she would not have came back to you
Nope.
if she didn't appreciate that raising.
That was kind of funny that we made the last bit into a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, topics happen, and like you said, just
Jump in.
and keep it rolling. So I went and on. If you want to talk, my mic will pick it up. So let's do a podcast. Just turn the last bit of it a podcast because
You know what?
I don't know
If
when
you
I'm
want
going
to
to
jump
be.
in on my podcast besides being my monitor, that's fine by me.
I know.
Okay, we're on.
Alrighty. Okay. All right.
Hi, baby girl.
All right.
She heard me.
I shouldn't say.
She answered.
She's like, hey.
Alrighty. But yeah, so the way it looks, this ended up being part, you say a tiny little part of the Geek Bros.
For the better or for the worse, who knows?
But other than all that, but yeah, it's just this world. I just shake my head every time I read an article or something. It's just, I don't even watch the news anymore because it depresses me.
Yeah.
I don't even read. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news because it just depresses me. Because this world has completely went backwards.
everything is lost. All the
The way-
everything went down.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say all our principles, everything was lost with people.
Yeah. And to me, there's one reason, but I'm not going to get into it because I don't talk religion in my stream, but that's the biggest key that has been lost in this world.
Yeah, mixed culture.
Yeah.
If we will.
Yeah, mixed culture. And when a mixed culture enters an environment that it's not designed for, it just goes downhill. Because this world's environment isn't designed for a mixed culture. It was designed for split cultures.
Well,
That was the way it was designed, and it should have been stayed that way.
it sounds like the Tower of a Certain Story. If you
Yeah,
remember.
it's all. If you want to go back to books and so like that, historical books. There's one famous historical book. I'm not going to say it by name because I'm not going to go into that topic, but it talks about the Tower of Babel.
And how there was the birth of a mixed culture due
Yeah.
to a punishment.
Yeah. They built a tower to try to reach the heavens, and that's not how you reach heaven. And a punishment was put on forth because they tried to reach heaven that way and not the correct way. And he has put a curse across the area and caused a mixed culture. So as if everyone wasn't speaking the same language, didn't look the same, nothing. It's just everyone was changed. And it was just his way of saying, hey, you follow my way, not your way.
There's a lesson to be learned here, folks. I mean,
To me, you follow what your heart says,
yeah,
not what your mind says.
exactly. And don't let no one also try to influence you, because that could be your biggest
Yeah,
mistake.
because your heart is more pure than your mind.
Yes.
And if you listen to your heart, you're listening to your actual mind, not your brain, but your mind. Your mind's in your heart, not your head. There's a psychological aspect in that where your pure self is more in your heart than in your mind.
It's like that old saying, mind over matter.
Mind over matter. But that also goes with the true mind, not the mental mind,
Exactly.
the true mind.
Exactly.
That mind is over matter. So if you and stuff like that, so there's a lot of us of deep thinking everyone has to do every day to really understand where your true heart lies. And if you really sit in that every day and meditate in that, yeah, I'm saying stuff like that. Yeah,
You'll be finding the answers you're looking
for. Yeah, some people say, "Oh, you can pray." No. Listen to your heart more, because your heart is where your answers will be. Prayer guides you through those thinkings with your heart, but it's better just to meditate in your heart. I'm more of a philosopher in the aspect of that than anything else. So, and I'm also starting to do that even with my streaming, is rely on my heart's mindset towards it, than my mind's mindset on it. And that's what I'm starting to understand, is I need to go back to my roots where my heart lays with it. That's where the love, the joy, the excitement I get when I do it. That's my heart telling me to do that. That's your heart is your conscience.
Yeah,
A better way of explaining it, your heart is more your conscience.
You could think one way, but it's not what you're thinking
Yeah,
about.
it's
Next thing it'll hit you really hard when the opposite turns out.
It was like, okay, here's a good example.
Uh-oh, really?
For you to harass it?
Yeah.
You better let them know.
Okay. here. Mute that. This. I know, Jalen. I'm getting ready to pass it. And I appreciate you giving me the heads up. And I love you too, sis.
I think we kind of got a little carried away in this, and I do feel like apologizing myself.
Ah! Didn't put in the raid. Raid. AELIR. DLI. Oh. DIR. DLI. IRIUM 914.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it right. Yep, right person. Yay.
So,
Okay, you guys kind of. Wait.
yeah. I do have a funny feeling about it, though.
Yeah. I have a feeling I'm going to have a spike on this stream.
No. If I say myself, we actually.
All right, everyone. I'm sending you off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you all.